The smell of oil and old metal was more familiar to me than any perfume. It clung to my clothes, my hair, and, if I'm honest, my soul. For 10 years, my world had been the grease pit of my own small garage, a sanctuary of pistons, torque wrenches, and the hum of precision. Then came Liam. Liam, the golden boy heir to the sterling automotive empire, swept into my life like a thunderbolt. He saw past the grease stains and found the engineer beneath. He loved my hands, not just for what they could do on a car, but for how they moved, how they created. He saw my secret project, the Phoenix engine, not as a hobby, but as a revolution. We were going to change the world, together. Then, the unthinkable happened. A freak accident. A racing test gone wrong. Liam was gone. And in his wake, the Sterling vultures descended. His father, Lord Sterling, a man carved from ice and ambition, and his impeccably dressed, sharp-tongued siblings, Chloe and Marcus, saw me as nothing more than a temporary inconvenience. They stripped me of my access, my shared accounts, and then, with barely a word, my keys to the estate where Liam and I had lived, and where my real work happened. "You're a mechanic, dear," Chloe had sneered, her voice dripping with disdain. "A hobbyist. This is business, and you have no part in it." They thought they were leaving me with nothing but the lingering scent of exhaust fumes. They were wrong. My garage, nestled on a secluded acreage Liam had bought specifically for my experiments, was my true home. While they were busy dividing up board seats and stock options, I was already back at work, the Phoenix engine waiting for me. It was Liam's dream, yes, but it was also mine. An engine that ran on a revolutionary hydrogen fusion process, capable of unparalleled efficiency and zero emissions. It was the future, and Liam had been too cautious, too tied to the Sterling legacy of combustion engines, to push it fully. He'd wanted to surprise his father, to present it as a gift, a testament to his own innovation. Now, it was my turn. The Sterlings, meanwhile, were struggling. Without Liam's vision, their stock plummeted. Marcus, notoriously incompetent, made a series of disastrous decisions, and Chloe, always more interested in publicity than practicalities, found herself out of her depth. Rumors of bankruptcy started circulating. They tried to revive Liam's old projects, but they lacked his intuition, his understanding of what the market truly needed. They had no idea about the Phoenix. My days became a blur of clandestine activity. I'd scavenge for parts, adapt my old tools, and meticulously refine the engine. The Sterling testing facilities were off limits, but I had my own equipment, and the isolation of my garage was my greatest asset. I was working against the clock, not just to prove them wrong, but to save Liam's vision. Then, the corporate espionage began. Someone from Sterling was clearly watching me, trying to figure out where I was getting my advanced components. A drone flew over my property a few times. One night, I heard suspicious noises outside. I armed myself with a heavy wrench and crept out. I found not a Sterling spy, but a young man, no older than 20, looking terrified. He introduced himself as Ben, a junior engineer from Sterling R&D, who Liam had quietly mentored before his death. Ben had also suspected foul play within the Sterling family and had been trying to pass me information. He'd seen the Sterling siblings' frantic attempts to recreate Liam's work, their complete failure, and their growing desperation. He'd also overheard Marcus muttering about needing to deal with the mechanic permanently. Together, Ben and I became an unlikely force. He brought me insider information, schematics Liam had hidden, financial reports that hinted at Sterling's impending collapse, and proof of Marcus's deliberate sabotage of Liam's final project. He also confirmed my deepest fears: the accident hadn't been an accident. Marcus, terrified Liam would unveil the Phoenix engine and make him obsolete, had tampered with the racing car. The final act was planned with precision. Sterling Automotive's annual shareholder meeting was fast approaching, the company on the brink of collapse. Marcus was set to present a desperate, ill-conceived plan to save the company, a plan that would cripple it further. I knew this was my chance. With Ben's help, I had a fully functional, road-tested Phoenix engine. We loaded it onto a custom-built trailer, disguised as scrap metal, On the day of the meeting, under the guise of delivering Liam's personal effects, I arrived at Sterling HQ. The security guards recognized me from my time at the estate, and my demeanor was calm, almost mournful, so they let me through. I walked into the opulent ballroom, the hum of 1,000 worried voices filling the air. Lord Sterling, Chloe, and Marcus were on stage, looking strained. Marcus was just finishing his catastrophic presentation. As the polite applause died down, I walked towards the stage, pushing my discreetly modified trailer. "Excuse me," I said, my voice surprisingly steady, amplified by the microphone I'd subtly commandeered. "I believe there's something more important that needs to be presented today." Silence. All eyes turned to me. Lord Sterling's face was a mask of cold fury. "You," he hissed. "Yes, me," I replied, my gaze sweeping across the stunned faces of the board members. "You believe I was just a hobbyist, a kept woman who dabbled in engines. You thought my husband's legacy would die with him, and that you could simply dispose of me. You were wrong." I hit a hidden switch on the trailer. A section silently opened, revealing the gleaming, intricate marvel of the Phoenix engine. The room gasped. "This," I announced, my voice ringing with power, "is Liam's final, and most revolutionary, gift to the world. A clean energy solution that will redefine transportation. A testament to his true genius, and a technology that some of you," I turned my gaze directly to Marcus, "tried to bury." I then played a pre-recorded message from Ben, containing irrefutable evidence of Marcus's sabotage of Liam's car and the Sterling family's ongoing attempts to suppress my own work. The data scrolled across a large screen behind me, Liam's hidden digital blueprints, my own test results, the financial reports detailing Sterling's decline due to their incompetence. The room erupted. Lord Sterling was sputtering, Chloe was pale with shock, and Marcus looked utterly broken, his face drained of all color. The shareholders, seeing the future, and the evidence of fraud, in front of them, finally understood. My hobby was their salvation. My mistake was their downfall. They kicked me out. They underestimated me. They tried to erase me. But they forgot that the real power wasn't in the boardroom or the board seats, it was in the quiet hum of innovation, hidden away in a garage, fueled by love, grief, and an unyielding determination. My name, and Liam's, would now be etched into the history of the automotive industry, not by their greed, but by my obsession. I'd love to hear your questions and opinions in the comments, so definitely drop them there. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash that like button on this video.